Hello there. Last night I went to see Saltburn in the theater, and now I want to discuss this odd movie with you. The story follows an Oxford scholar named Oliver Quick. He befriends a classmate named Felix Catton and is drawn into the aristocratic high life for a summer he'll never forget. Just a heads up, this movie gets weirdly sexual. It definitely breaches the R rating and comes with several graphic depictions of sexual acts. If that's not your thing, you should avoid this movie like the plague. That said, the movie was written and directed by Emerald Fennell, and stars Barry Cogan as Oliver Quick, Jacob Elordi as Felix Catton, and Archie Madekwe as Farley Start. The story follows Oliver during his magical and mysterious summer at Saltburn. His journey starts with a focus on love and sexual relationships, but quickly takes a turn into the strange. As things at Saltburn Manor escalate, Oliver's appetite grows and he soon starts making moves to shape his future. Eventually, Oliver makes a mistake and it leads to surprising secrets being revealed about him and threatens to put his time at Saltburn to an end. The cast is a small group with most of the screen time focusing on Oliver and the Catton family during their time at Saltburn. They're aristocrats with an elitist attitude who like to throw elegant parties and gossip about poor people. Then you have Oliver Quick, a strange young man who doesn't speak about himself much but always knows what to say in the moment. He's observant of the world and appears obsessed with Felix and his family. Visually, this colorful adventure spends most of its time with Oliver and the Cattons at Saltburn. Saltburn is a giant elegant mansion on a massive piece of property. It's got beautiful gardens, a maze, pools, and the inside looks like a castle. They also spend a bit of time at a stand-in for Oxford, and a few other single-scene locations. Most of the film is dedicated to intense conversations, montages of them drinking and having fun, and strange encounters that often become extremely sexual. The soundtrack they use includes classical-sounding instrumentals and a variety of original songs that are used to color the atmosphere and support the emotions. They tend to use alt-rock and dance songs for the montages or whenever they want to build up a moment. They then turn to instrumental tracks and a few scored original tracks for the darker moments and emotional scenes. The film's soundtrack has a very dangerous party vibe to it, like you're being lured in with all the shiny stuff. So as a film, Saltburn has a very polished feel to it, but the story is so weird that it honestly might not be accessible to a large chunk of the mainstream audience. The writing creates a fascinating main character in Oliver and takes him on a journey that is filled with twists and turns. You're never quite sure where he's going or even what his motives are, but your eyes stay glued to the screen to find out. The people he meets and the mansion he stays in are beautiful and classy on the surface, but filled with salacious thoughts and seedy underpinnings. They spend too much time on weird little detours and building the atmosphere. This left little time for the story underneath, and it felt a little rushed. There weren't many hints as to what was happening, and they had to explain everything with flashbacks and exposition at the end, which felt lazy. Cast-wise, you had an impeccable general cast, with even the butler being played by the highly accomplished Paul Reese. Each of the family members and most of the supporting cast play their characters exceptionally well. They get to play eccentric rich people and snooty servants who treat Oliver badly, and each of them gets to do at least one little emotional outburst. They all do a fantastic job. As for standout performances, there were a few, but it all comes down to Barry Cogan. He carries the film on his back and goes above and beyond in portraying Oliver Quick's psychotic personality. He looks mentally unstable standing outside of the different windows at night and participating in extreme sexual acts. Then during the day or whenever he's in public, he puts on this good boy persona that manages to fool people into thinking he's a soft and gentle soul. Cogan's ability to portray emotion is off the charts, and the intensity he brings to the role is eye-catching. Visually, the film is beautiful to look at and has a very polished appearance. The locations they chose work well for the story, and each scene is done up with a lot of style and flavor. The characters and their outfits are flashy and easy to look at as well. For standout scenes, you have all kinds of disgusting and disturbing sexual moments that take the camera work up to the next level, as well as intense emotional encounters that are filled to the brim with passion. The entire film is so beautifully shot that almost every moment is pleasing to the eye. Sound-wise, the film makes use of some powerful and moving music that supports the emotional aspects of the story well. They know how to throw a party and how to back a dark and brooding moment. The music adds a ton of flavor to the environment and helps add intensity and emotion to the story, and it does quite well on those fronts. The only problem with it is that it's often too loud and competes directly with the dialogue. It was hard to hear them speak at times because of it and made parts of the film harder to understand. Overall, Saltburn was a strange film with an interesting story that shot beautifully, acted insanely well, and scored by a dark and fun soundtrack that brings out some intense emotion. If you like slow burn mysteries and you're okay with sexual content being included in your stories, give this a shot. Otherwise, pass on it. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Bye-bye.